Entourage. It's like a Kardashian. This is Lamar. Kylie.
All right. So I do have a little presentation, really quick. All right, that is kind of weird being here now that I'm on this side. So
Speak up.
all right.
Pipe it down, people.
Do I need this?
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta talk up and be.
Or project, one or the other. Project your voice.
I can project. All right, so look, the reason why I was asked to speak at this conference is because I get shit done. I'm known as a man of action. I feel like Matt takes as much action, probably double the action I take, but for me, it's just all about getting it done. Whatever you need to do, you have to get it done, but the reason why I'm able to get things done is because I have a specific process that I go through every day. It's on my shirt, but it really starts with preparation and how you start your day. Because a lot of people ask me, how do you do this, how do you do that? But by the time, I think I get up, and it's going to be in the slide, I get up so early in the morning and I take care of myself mentally, physically, that when most people are just getting up, I'm ready to roll. So, first of all, getting shit done, a little bit about me. That's where I was speaking out of college. Someone asked me to do a speaking event. Everything's revolved around my son. If you see anything on my timeline, it's either business, I'm talking about Gabe, or I'm talking about my son, and then I just got married last November. For those who came to San Diego, and thank you. Those who came to San Diego in, what was that? January, you guys got to meet my wife. She's been with me for a long time. But a little bit about me, a story that I told to a lot of people. Used to work at the Newport News Shipbuilding. For those who don't know, that's where they build all the aircraft carriers and majority of the submarines for the U.S. Navy. I went to the apprentice school, ended up being a supervisor running a whole nuclear program, and then one day I got hit by an 18-wheeler truck coming off a highway. Almost flipped my truck over, had surgeries, couldn't go to work, lost my job, lost my house, pretty much lost all my money. I had to rebuild myself from the ground up. And during that time, I came up with this process. And even with my wife, she was with me that whole time. My son was 2, nothing happened to him. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it again. Let's see. So, the question is, how do I take action? First of all, when anybody asks me, this is one of the things I say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Are you always ready for anything? No, but if your mindset is that you are ready, it doesn't matter, you'll adapt and you'll overcome. So, preparation. This is my process that I go through every morning. That's why I wear these shirts. I had to wear this shirt again because the shirts I did bring that got sold, I should have probably bought a little bit more. I definitely want to have this for the event. But I came up with this because, like Matt said, and a lot of you all know, when you guys are doing your business, it's a lot of hustle and bustle, and what happens is you're not in the moment. So I spent a lot of time with my son. I was a single father, had full custody of my son since he was 10 months old, adopted his older brother, which technically wasn't my son. So I spent a lot of time with them trying to figure this thing out. And I realized that even though I spent a lot of time with them, I feel like I was missing a lot of moments. And through all my personal development, I realized that a lot of things they said were around gratitude, appreciation, visualization, not necessarily in that order. But one day I just started writing it down every morning. This is the first thing I'm gonna do when I get up every day, because when you start to play the day off from a place of gratitude, it changes how your energy and how you move through the day and how things come to you. I'm really big on energy, you guys can see that. I do curse a lot, not in front of kids, but I do curse a lot. So first thing I do, and I was happy to find this exact time.
Is that P?
It says PM, ignore that. Ignore that. Let's just use our imagination and think AM. But outside of being here, typically every morning, I get up at that time. And people ask me why, like a 2 or something. For some reason, I never like getting up on 5s or 0s. I feel like if I want to get up at 4, when 4 o'clock rolls around, I don't want to be rolling out the bed. I want to be already out the bed, I already want to be moving, I want to be stretching and doing the things that I do. So when I get up later than that, it's just not the same. I mean, 5, 6, getting up at 7 o'clock is late as hell. What time does most people get? Most of you all get up in the morning. Let's make this interactive.
9:30, 10.
Okay. So
6:37.
6:37. You stay up late as hell.
2 a.m.
2 a.m. She's up at 2.
Oh.
Michaela, you get up at 2?
Yeah, I mean, I got many Does it close? Is it 24/7?
Well, you should have automated process so you can get your ass.
He's actually.
But I get up that early, partly because when I used to work at the shipyard, I used to have to be to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I don't like going somewhere and being there as soon as it's going on. I like to get my mind right and have time to get my shit together. So next thing is important, especially with my injuries. I'm still nursing injuries from 6 years ago, but stretch. I don't do all of these stretches, but when you stretch in the morning, it unlocks your body and allows you to move in a way that you normally wouldn't move. A lot of times people go through their day and they're so stiff and their body breaks down on them, and that slows them down. It affects the way you think and how you take action.
You do 47 right now?
Say it again.
You do 47 right now?
He thought this was Kama Sutra. I thought that was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, not in these shorts, I wouldn't, but I can.
Come
do
on,
that. No,
Just
not these.
kidding.
If I had on some basketball shorts, I could do any of these things. You know, so but.
And I'd say that a lot of people don't realize, you know, even in the CrossFit world, one of the big things in CrossFit is mobility.
Yeah.
Is making sure, I mean, a lot of your pain, like my son's knee had been bothering him, or his back, I mean, and the back problem wasn't from his back, it was from his ACL and his hamstring. And it was just tightness, and you know, getting, like you can lay on a foam roller and like roll out your butt and feel here, you'll feel your knee pulsate. So I mean, that's getting your body right, even if you're 100 pounds overweight or 100 pounds underweight. If your shoulders, your neck, we all sit like this all the time. If you're not opened up, and it's ultra important.
It is, and I get massages. I got a lady that comes to my house and massages me, because if not, after about a week or two of working on computers, my neck gets stiff, my back gets stiff. I do jiu-jitsu, I do kickboxing, I go to the UFC gym, I do whatever classes they have to offer. But either way, us doing this stuff on the computer a lot of times, it messes you up. So definitely take care of yourself, prime your body, get it ready to roll throughout the day. First thing I do every morning after I stretch and get out of bed is I drink a bunch of water. And I know this stuff sounds basic, but I really thought about what the hell do I do that separates me and allows me to do all these things. So I don't drink anything until I drink water. Allow the body to hydrate and get it ready to go. As you can see, some of the benefits here about burning fat, I don't care about that. It's just about flushing out the stuff, flushing out the toxins and getting myself together and moving forward. Some people drink coffee. I really don't drink coffee, even though I want to try your bulletproof coffee. He was the first person on Bulletproof Mindset with bulletproof coffee.
Yeah.
Noted. All right, and this is basically the gate process. This is what I do every morning, right? So every morning I write out what I'm grateful for, what I appreciate, and what I visualize. And when I do my interviews, I walk people through that process. So who wants to talk about what they're grateful for?
Oh, we're grateful for my healthy family. Grateful for the opportunity to provide for them. I mean, the things that I have, like the ability to, even though it's materialistic, to buy stuff that they enjoy. I've got friends of mine that struggle every day.
Yeah.
And being able to like not have to worry on a consistent basis that I can do it. Also at the same time, I'm grateful that I have my father instilled in me the sales ability that if tomorrow I needed to switch gears, I could go close 6 figures, whatever I wanted to do.
That's huge. And I'm working on that for my son now. He's only 8, but he'd probably outsell everybody in this room, probably except for Matt.
And that's important too, like what you do with your son.
Yeah.
We own the gym that we own. I make a joke of this, but it's serious. When members join and I see their kids in the kids area, I can tell right away if there's a father involved. If they're divorced, if there's a good divorce, you can tell how the kids react.
Yeah.
If the mom and dad hate each other and it's the best, the worst, all that kind of stuff, you can tell.
Yeah.
But if there's a father and a mother involved, you can tell the way the kids act, and especially the boys. The boys are, I think, for whatever reason, that father figure. The girls seem to have their heads right with mom, but if there's boys involved and they don't have dad around, you look at all what you can pass on to your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I do now sales-wise wasn't an accident. It's because I watched my dad do it my whole life.
Exactly. I mean, and that's one reason I had to be close to my son. I don't know how she could go without seeing him 6 days a week, but I can. And I know that the things that I instill in, whether it's sales and just understanding, like even then we go through this process in the morning, I have them doing these things. Anybody else want to talk about what they're grateful for?
I'm grateful for my 4 kids, like being away, so far away from them. I'm really close with my kids too, so being away from them, like here I said to lose my mum, so I'm sick for my kids and my grandson. And I'm grateful for, because I've never had a job, not since I was a teenager at school, I've always worked for myself, and it's the same. My kids are entrepreneurial, they don't know any different. And I'm grateful that they've had that way of growing up, so they'll always be able to create something for themselves and not rely on needing a boss or a job or.
And that's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd like to set up for my son. Like I have it in his head, instead of talking about going to college, in his head he's never going to work a job. So I've already won. He's already won because he's not going to work a job. We're going to set something up for him where he doesn't have to do that. So all these things that I'm doing now is for him. Of course, we need to have this set up so that we can survive, but my son's never gonna work a job, and in his head, he's gonna pass that on to his family. He's learning sales skills, he's learning how to, go through this process as well, because in all honesty, when it comes to that law of attraction and stuff like that's all this is really. It's just another way of doing law of attraction. Law of attraction really works. If it didn't, I wouldn't be standing here right now. Anybody want to talk about what their appreciation or visualization? One or two more.
I'm grateful for good health and strength, being 46, a cancer survivor, and Tracy had the same cancer.
Wow.
We both survived.
Hold on.
Actually, we've got parallel lives, and we're grateful for Tracy, because we pull each other out of shit all the time.
Now, while you guys are doing it, you're sitting right next to each other. Like, can you actually feel the feeling? Like, it's a good feeling that's coming through you as you talk about the
Yeah,
good
we're so
thing?
connected. It's like, I say to her, when I meet the man of my dreams, he's got to be a blue version of the dick. Yeah, and a bit tidier.
Fair enough. But it's all.
It is like when you have a friend, we've been friends 15 years, we met through the marketing world, through business. When you have friendships like that, you surround yourself with people who are achieving and building and always striving, and no matter if you get knocked over, that you pull yourself back up again, no matter what goes on in your life.
Exactly.
Surrounding yourself with people who can go, hey, get off your ass, okay, off your feet, what, you've had nothing to whinge. So just, being grateful for having a friendship like that, it's amazing.
It is. Anybody else want to go?
I appreciate, this lady right here.
That
Thank you
is.
for all she does for me, for us. She keeps me young, she keeps me healthy, does a lot of things for us, and most importantly, she gets me up at the crack of noon every day.
Right now. Anybody want to talk about their vision for themselves, their family, their business?
I mean, I have something I do, something similar to this, but every day I have a list of things that I read every day. And one is about how I want to see my business grow, how I want to see myself grow, the type of people I want to attract, and I read that every day, and it's powerful. So like as an example, one of my visions, maybe it's a big one, but hey, why not stretch? Is I see within the next 18 to 24 months of having 100 additional clients. And that's something I see every day. And so that kind of keeps me grounded of, am I doing something today to get to there, or am I just doing busy work to fill space?
Exactly.
So,
I mean, and it's energy, and even then you have to see it in your head. You have to see, it's almost like seeing the end result, and it's not seeing it in third person, it's actually like seeing it through your eyes. So we've all walked through this building. You all know where the bathroom is. Like in your head right now, you can picture yourself getting up and walking to the bathroom and seeing the back of people's heads as if you were looking back. I mean, that's what visualization is. But you do that for yourself and your family, whether it comes to money, how you want to grow your business. And these are just the things that I do every day. And this is just a PDF that I have that we've made that, if anybody wants a copy of this, just let me know and I'll send it to you. But this is pretty much what I use every single day. Anybody else want to go? No? Come on, Albert. You bought the damn shirt. First of all, he walks in our room shirtless. I just got there. Right?
Yeah.
I just walked in. I mean, you walked in the room shirtless.
Open the door.
He opened the door and he's like, dude, where's the Gabe shirts at? And I'm like, I only got a few. And he's like, well, I want to buy one right now. He bought one right then and there. So you have to say something. Say something, Howard.
So, I'm going to go with appreciation. I appreciate, this is my first mastermind, my first conference, and I appreciate how everybody is, I feel like, a lot more personal. Even though in our group, I already felt that, but meeting everybody in person just was at another level, being personal and really extending that helping hand. So many people, even before the lesson started, I already got, massive lessons and massive gold, especially from Luis. I mean, straight up, like I just got there and he's like, yeah, and I was like, oh, chill. And I walk in, just like you said, in the morning, and I wanted that shirt. I didn't really need it, but
You did need it. You walked in without a shirt on.
You haven't met me in person. I know because I hate the shirt. But
For you to have, sure.
you weren't even selling it, but I was like, I gotta have it. So, you know, I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody.
It's an energy, like even the fucking do it shirt I have on, it's like, yeah, Bill, I got it from Billy, but even if I didn't get it from him, it's an energy. And like when I was at the event and I wore that shirt, and when I wear it at home, it gives me this feeling and it gives me that energy. And you can recreate that with music, you can recreate that with the people as you're around. And that's pretty much what I do with visualization. I want you to come up here real quick, Eric, come here.
Great, Chad.
Hey, Chad!
Yeah, Chad. Is it-
I was 600 pounds, fuck you.
Now, check it. You're an introvert, right? Alright, so,
You need to be grateful for the Cheerios.
yo, you need to be grateful for Cheerios.
Yeah, bro. You need to be grateful for the Cheerios.
But look, he's an introvert, right? So I start off as an introvert. I have so many videos. Matt's blowing me away, by the way. But I got a lot of videos, right? So I think since I've been in the community where we met, I'm probably close to like 300, 400 videos, right? And I'm an introvert. I grew up as an introvert. But my thing is I just don't give a fuck. If I have to do something and someone, like Billy kept saying, do video, do video, do video. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do video. And they're like, how do you put yourself out there on video? I just do it. I don't care how it looks. I mean, I do to an extent. I don't wanna look like I don't take care of myself or anything like that, but you just have to get up and do it. So a lot of us in this room, who doesn't have video in this room?
Come on.
You
there's
should have some
something-
damn video. You don't have video either? You're slipping, man. But you got time. But time is now, though. But just in general, I know there's other people in the room who aren't doing video. The reason I called you up here is because you said you were an introvert and you're trying to break out of that. I think you did a good job. But what I want you to do is I want you to yell at the top of your lungs, like you're a lion in the fucking jungle or something like that.
Come on.
No.
Seriously, start doing video right now.
He's doing video right now, sideways. Camera on the left hand side. Camera on the left hand side. Well, go ahead.
All right.
Ah! A little bit louder. I know you meant
louder.
louder.
I can't do
You
that.
can't?
Yeah.
Ah! Ah! How you feel?
The same.
Supposed to feel a little bit different. But sometimes you gotta do that. You gotta wake up. We just ate. I mean, the food was really good. Thank you, Matt. And if you guys haven't put in on it, put in on it. But
They should do that, make sure your wife's not like sleeping to you, you know?
say it again.
You should do that as long as your wife's not sleeping next to you.
Oh, well, I can't do it. I go outside, I run in the morning, but I'm going to keep going through, like I said, just real quick. Law of attraction. Basically, like I said, Gabe process is law of attraction, and you attract what you put out there. So if you're thinking positive thoughts come back. Like Matt was saying about watching the news, I've never been the type to watch the news. I don't need to see the weather on TV. You got it on your phone. But you wake up and it's like, oh, this person, there was a cat here, which doesn't fucking matter. And then this person got shot here. This person got shot here. How does that fucks with you throughout the day, whether you think so or not? The type of music you listen to fucks with you throughout the day, whether you think so or not. And it's just, it puts you in a state where you're attracting the wrong things. So law of attraction is huge for me. And I'm doing all this between pretty much 3:42 and 7 o'clock. All this shit's going down. So then the next thing I do is I meditate. Who knows about chakras? All right? Chakras? So basically, on your body, there's 7 different energy wheels, right? So all these energy wheels deal with certain things that, like, as you can see here, at the crown is at the top, deals with cosmic energy, and that's kind of like your connection to the earth. But I literally, every day of the week, there's 7 of them. So on Monday, I do this, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But if you're having certain issues in your life and you're actually slowing down and paying attention to what's going on with you, you can literally pick the chakra that fits that description. And if you can calm down your mind enough and actually, like, it's about controlling your breath and feeling the energy, you can feel that stuff, you can actually feel some of that stuff going away. Like, I literally can tell if I feel sluggish, like, I already know 9 times out of 10, I need to work on this, or I need to work on this, or work on that. And it's deep. I've been doing this shit for years, so it's not like you can just turn it on tomorrow and just understand it. But if you can actually calm yourself down, breathe, and take your time, you literally can feel a difference in your energy and how you attack the day. And then over here, it's just a little bit more about basically what these things do, different fruits that help you. All the colors are aligned up. So if you want,
Basically, everything you see here is here for you to get it out of your system this weekend. And back to Monday, start eating right. Say that for myself.
seriously. So shoppers are huge for me. I listen to maybe 15, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes after I do the stuff that I already told you to do. I'm writing down my stuff in the morning. Then I get on here, I go through my shopper, then I'm like, all right, I feel the energy, I feel the blocks unmove. And next thing I do is I read audiobooks. So I'm either reading a book or audiobooks. I'm more into the audio versus actually reading. I like to do it in the morning before my son gets up. But these are a few of my favorite books. Think and Grow Rich was one of the first ones that I started reading when I got into personal development. I probably read it cover to cover 3 times, probably listening on audio at least 50 times. When my son was 2 until he was 5, he listened to this every night when he went to sleep. It would play. Pitch Anything, sales training, I really like that. 80-20 principle, learning how to do more with less. Because when with someone like me, I take a lot of action, but sometimes when you take too much action, it dries out thought. It dries out the ability to be strategic. So something like this will help you. And it actually talks about how to set up teams and how to run teams more effectively. Membership economy is good if you want to have like a membership site. For me, working with agencies and businesses is great, but why not have a membership site of people that you can provide value to over and over again? Because there's when it comes to working with certain clients, after a certain time, like I think my average time has been about 3 to 6 months. I've had some clients a little longer than a year, but then you have to go find some more, and that's where consistent prospecting comes in. So I'd like to have that going, and at the same time, why not find people who like what you have and consistently provide them value? And then you can keep getting creative. Like when Matt said with niching down, when you have something like this, you're niching down, and you can actually be creative and keep providing certain things. And Expert Secrets, that's a great book. If you haven't read it, you guys said yours is on the shelf still. Joseph reading this book. Yeah, my son, he started reading this book when he was 7. I think we're at least halfway through it. Had him reading it on Facebook Live. But, I haven't read stuff like that because it took me till I was like 27, 28 to even get into this space and understand stuff. So if I can give him that shit before he's, when he's 7, 8 years old, imagine how far ahead he will be. Last thing I do in the morning typically is work out. That's not me and that's not me. I didn't have time to Photoshop that, but that's my jiu-jitsu coach. I do jiu-jitsu. I'm not like a black belt. I have a white belt with 3 stripes, but I will choke you the fuck out. Let me take it back. But on a serious note, it's great because it takes your mind off of what you're doing. Like, I've done CrossFit before. They have a little bit of CrossFit at the UFC gym, but when you work out, it gets your energy, it gets your body moving, gets your energy flowing. And then by the time I do all that, do you think I'm ready to attack the day? Do you see why I'm able to kind of do a whole bunch of shit? Like, if anything, what I've been working on more now is being more strategic, setting more things up so that way I can do less. Because it's easy for me to do more. If shit doesn't go right, all I do is work harder. I just keep working harder and harder and harder. And I realize that that's not really the answer. You do have to work hard, but not like crazy.
So you're done, you do this by 7 o'clock, like 7 a.m. You work out and everything? What time you do is the toughest part of me, I got a family, and then my kids, man, they don't want to go to sleep on time and all that stuff. We plan dinner like 10 o'clock at night, It's
This is what you do. If you get behind them, right, you slide your hand under their neck, and then you do this, and then you just do this. And just a little bit, and they go right to sleep in like 2 seconds or less. But on a serious note, if you're not, you have to be disciplined, because if you're not disciplined, your kids won't be. They're only going to do what you allow them to do. And a lot of times people want to hear that. That's not to say that you're not a good father. It's just certain things. Going to bed is typically the hardest thing to do for an entrepreneur and to get their kids in bed on time. So my son's bedtime is 8:30 at the latest. And 8:30 hits, I don't fuck around. It's like, you got to go to bed, because I don't go to sleep until he goes to sleep. Once he gets a little bit older, he can stay up, but going to bed on time is key. Like, sometimes I'll stay up till 11 o'clock, but for the most part, I try to be in bed and sleep 9:30, 10 o'clock at the latest. And honestly, ending out your night, and I do the game process at the end of the night, and I certainly read the books, but I will write all that shit over again. It's all kind of repetition, but if I go to bed on time, it makes it easy to get up in the morning, and I do it all over again. And I realize when I start missing steps out of this is where I start falling apart, especially seeing how I still have injuries that I'm still healing up. I start falling apart if I start missing steps of this. So for you guys, think about what you guys got going on in your life. Are you doing any of these things? You don't have to do exactly what I do, but do you have your own ritual? Who has a ritual in the morning they go through?
Yeah.
So Jeff, what's your ritual?
I get up in the morning about between 4 and 4:30. I start out with meditation, then I'll have a cup of coffee, then I'll head to the gym. I'll work out about 5 days a week. I come home, I finish up writing, I read, I listen to something motivational. I'm really into Dr. Joe Dispenza right now.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Look into him.
Yeah. And then I'm ready to hit my day. You know,
Do some
I'll review my
reservations.
notes and, what's that?
Reservations.
That's it.
Be out there pounding. But when you don't do that, how does it make you feel?
I feel like I missed something. It's like I feel like I've forgotten to put one sock on her, you know.
Damn, I never heard that analogy.
Yeah. It's not right. I feel like I stole something that day.
And then after a few days, it really kind of, it builds every day you don't do it.
Yeah.
Like on the weekend, I might not do as much, but, you know, typically I do all these things. Anybody else have a ritual they want to talk about? What do you do?
One of the things I do is I write what I want to accomplish early in the day, and then as soon as I accomplish it, even something as small as playing with my kids, I'll write that down and then I'll strike it out, so it builds my momentum for what I'm about to do.
I like it. And so sometimes if you miss that stuff, and Chris Patterson, how many of you guys know Chris Patterson? So Chris Patterson is one of my coaches. And what he told me is I have to narrow all my shit down to 5. What are the top 5 things you want to do in business and life every day? So I realized that if I don't write down family time, then even though I'm doing it, it's not necessarily my focus. So I have prospecting's 1, family time, health, which makes sure I include this all in health, finances, because we all have finances, but if you're not focusing on your finances and doing stuff, then it kind of flies under the rug. So think about what your top 5 priorities are for the day. And then what he told me is once I meet those priorities, I don't have to work anymore. Because what he saw was I meet 5 to 10 priorities, and I'm like, shit, I didn't do enough. And I just keep grinding away. And then I'd say about once a month, my body will start falling apart, and I just won't be as effective. And then it feels like I have to start all over, even though I'm not starting all over. So just having a coach is extremely important as well. Anybody else want to go over their ritual or what they're grateful, appreciate, or visualize? I think that was my last slide. The last thing I wanted to show you is I had some interviews with some great people. One of them was Billy Jean. Billy Jean is a mentor of a lot of ours in here. Someone I truly respect, seeing where he came from to where he is now. And even in my space, I don't know, he was one of the first people that I actually saw online that ran ads that I chose on my own. A lot of people that I've seen before that, like even Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels, he was kind of brought to me by other people who were in the mix. So Billy was the first person that I saw and I chose, because I honestly don't watch ads. I mean, as a marketer, I watch more ads, but it was special. So having Billy on was extremely special to me, and the compliments that he gave me, the compliments I get from Matt, it's like, I don't know, sometimes I just get speechless, because like, in my mind, I feel like I'm the best world ever I decide to do. Whether you're beating me now or not, doesn't matter. You're not, I mean, and I don't say this in a cocky way, but I feel like no one's better than me. You know, and it's like you have to have that feeling within yourself that you can do whatever it takes to get shit done. And that's how I feel. Like at the end of the day, I know that especially when, the better I get with my strategy, some of the things that I learned from prospecting today, taking my time doing those things right, ain't no one fuck with me, man. It's just how I feel. But then I'm humble at the same time. So when you got people telling you that, like when Matt was talking to me, I got speechless a couple of times. I'm like, to hear how people feel about you is just, it's crazy. So this is just a 1-minute clip that Robert Tyrell made for me.
Show me promo.
So the promo.
Oh, this is, okay.
This is not it.
So that's not the promo.
That was me on the beach doing more ads.
So show the Billy clip.
Oh, you know why? Because here we go.
Yeah,
This
this
one.
What? Oh, no, okay, I see what happened.
It's not working.
Yeah.
You can read it.
Is the audio plugged in?
There's a different one for audio? I don't know. Oh, this. There's one. I'm sorry, I didn't see
Mike
it.
was coming to help.
Mark was coming.
See that? Stop. Don't swallow my face. Daughter tried to kill him.
Sorry. Got a lot of them here, but yeah, this is the last thing I'll show. Where is that promo?
It's a 1-minute clip. It's like, that's your intro.
Right here?
Isn't that it with Billy's thumbnail? Isn't that it?
But that keeps bringing up the ad that we were running.
Yeah. That's right.
1 second. Interviews, bulletproof mindset.
It's in your G drive. Yeah.
It's in my G. I think I deleted that in G Drive.
Damn, who's that handsome motherfucker in the hat? Oh shit, that's me.
Well, that's you. Just,
John, I heard you have a show.
yeah, I do got a show. I
What's
got a
that about?
Bulletproof Mindset show, which is what Billy and Matt was on, Luis was on, Robert didn't get his fucking haircut.
person that believe in you the way that you want to be believed in is you.
You know, I see you grinding, I see you out there, I see you making moves, so, you know, I definitely wanna, you know, be a part of it.
You're killing it, brother. You are truly living large. I appreciate the opportunity to come on your show today.
I strictly was like stuck working in my business. And
What
that's
the
what
fuck is that?
I was trying to get out of my business and work on it.
Turtleneck in the summer?
I was working out.
So that's pretty much it. But so actually, also with the Bulletproof Mindset show, anybody who wants to come on and be interviewed, like I said, I'm down to interview marketers who have the right mindset. It's not about whether you're making $1 million. You want to be interviewed?
I've never been interviewed in your
You've
show.
been interviewed at least
Come
4
on, come
times.
on.
You gotta wear your hat.
I'll do it.
I want the clip.
All right.
So you talked about kind of the early parts of it. Do you do anything before, if you have a routine before you go to bed? To kind of set your mind right.
All right, the routine before bed is really just that I call it the Gabe guide. Shout out to Ethan over there, he named it for me. Because I was calling it PDF, and I was like, that's so lame. But literally, I go through that again. So what I write out in the morning, I write out the evening again. And then I got law of attraction exercise, what I didn't talk about. There's a YouTube channel called Your Universe. And the lady walks you through different exercises, and if you actually pay attention to what she's saying, the shit works. It really does work. So I listen to that before I go to bed.
Okay,
And then
60 times.
say it again. I always get your words mixed up, so I don't want to say that.
60 times. So what about 60 times?
Oh, with my wife?
Honestly, you're
That's
talking
just
about.
701.
Oh, we do that, yeah.
It just has to be mentioned.
It's not worse than a man that doesn't give you good sexy time every night. Seriously.
I mean, sometimes I go to bed after.
Gerard doesn't want a man that gives him good sexy time.
I'm just saying for the
I'm
men,
saying
everyone's
if that
talking
comes up,
about-
that's one of those nights I just don't write my shit down. So that's what I'm saying.
Women, you love them and they're sexy.
Like I said, every night, for the most part, every night this happens. But like when stuff like that comes up, or sometimes I might fall asleep, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I do it every single night. But 90% of the time, this happens.
10% a night, he's body painted.
So last, real quick, anybody have any other questions? Was this helpful?
Questions?
Yeah, and I want to
Jeff.
know if this was actually helpful.